Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski, and welcome to Road to PokeMMO. This is Season 3, and this series is all about building a main account within PokeMMO from scratch in the year 2022/2023 at this point. And this season specifically is about making 10 million Pokeyen. I'm going to start things off this episode by going ahead and doing my gym run, which is, if you don't know, one of the best money-making methods in PokeMMO. We're starting this gym run at around 2.2 mil cash. We're going to go ahead and pop our richest charm and get busy. All right, here I am at the very end of my run, almost at around 2.5 mil, so we easily made like 300k in that run, which is super sick to see. All right, there we go. This trainer defeated. I have to go list this Graveler off on the GTL as sort of a mediocre comp since he's been one of the Pokemon we've been training up. We have another Pokemon to list that we've already trained up to 50 as a mediocre comp. We have some listings to collect on the GTL, and then we have some active money-making methods to explore. Let's go ahead and head over to Hoenn, since that's going to be the ideal location to do all of these things alongside the money-making method that I hinted at last episode. All right, first things first, let's list off this Mienshao and this Graveler. Our other Mienshao actually already sold, which is a really good sign, kind of showing us that, yeah, cheap Mienshaos are actually in pretty decent demand. This one was really comparable to this one. Not like a crazy good competitive Pokemon, but a really good budget option for someone wanting to test out Mienshao on their team. I'm going to list that for the same price, just not really worry about it too much. And then this Graveler will get listed for something like 40k. These are Pokemon that I bought, if you don't remember correctly, I bought for like 5k on the GTL and then just spent the 15 minutes or so, usually less, to EV train them, and then XP training them up passively during the gym reruns. Just a really good way to make some profit. Passive profit. We'll go ahead and collect that, a little over 100k in Pokeyen, around 2.6. I didn't quite list off the Graveler. Oops. All right, with everything sold and everything collected, it's time to test, fellas. It's time to make some more Pokeyen. Let me just make sure my boxes are cleared enough. Yup, box 3 is totally empty and ready to go. So I'm excited. I'm going to be testing Shuckle catching and other Hoenn Safari Zone catching Pokemon for the first time in a really, really long time. I used to farm Shuckle a decent amount for tons of Pokeyen. But, oh, I need to go get, no way. You need a Pokeblock case. That's so funny that I've never gotten that, and I've never been able to go in the... What the heck? Okay, be right back, fellas. I've never had that happen before. That's hilarious. This is the contest hall, so I need to get the Pokeblock case from someone in here. Maybe I just talked to one of these fellas. Let's see. Yada yada, friends. I don't have those. Okay, yada yada, contest. Pokeblock case yet. Thank you. Now we can go back to the safari. All right, it's finally time to test. I'm going to do one run just for shits and giggles and kind of see what it looks like, and then I'll actually end up doing a loop for 1 hour after this first initial test run. But the important thing to consider here is that I haven't tested this location since the Rock Smash nerf, which I just realized I don't have a Rock Smash Pokemon. Oh, Patrouski, you're making so many mistakes today. But that's okay. Only a 500 Pokeyen loss. That's going to send us back to Season 1, boys. I guess I'm just spoiled and used to having Rock Smash, the Ocarina on my main account. All right, back into the Safari Zone we go. Now, it's important to note you can't actually get over to this location until you defeat the Hoenn storyline, so that's really important for the money-making part of it. But essentially, I am just going to be running up here and smashing all of the rocks next to Shuckle here. The issue is they've now added a timer. So if you come up here, come over here, you'll find these rocks. There's a 50% chance of encountering Shuckle here, but they've added a timer. That's the issue. So after I smash these rocks, not only do I have to like run down and come back up to respawn them, or log out and log back in to respawn them, I have to wait 5 minutes. So I'm gonna have to set, when I do the loop for 1 hour, I'm gonna have to actually set 2 timers. One that's a 5-minute timer, one that's the 1 hour timer, obviously tracking the 1 hour. So that'll be pretty interesting. But let's go ahead and just do one run without a timer, without any stress. Let's just crack open these rocks, see if we can encounter any Shuckles, and then after we test the Shuckles, the huge difference here is that it won't just be loop from 1 hour of Shuckle, it'll be loop from 1 hour of just catching Pokemon in the Safari Zone. So I'm going to be catching this Shuckle and then be running over to this grass, or this grass down south, I believe. You're going to run to a different location, just catch as many Pokemon as possible in the Safari in general, as opposed to just catching Shuckle. First Shuckle caught, easy peasy. I have no idea how good of a moneymaker this will actually be, but I'm really curious to find out. Now, the cool thing is, not only is Shuckle in a pretty good egg group and pretty good for catching, you know, IVs for Pokeyen, you also see berry juice on him every single time, which is worth a little bit of Pokeyen, but you can also see root fossils and claw fossils, and those can be worth like 10 to 18k a piece. Those can be worth big money. Now, from my understanding, there is some glitch at the moment that doesn't show your Safari balls in the battle. You guys actually might have already noticed that. And to be totally honest, I don't know how to fix this or what actually causes this. If you guys have seen anything like this or know a solution to it or even why it happens, please let me know. We thought it was a custom strings issue, and I tried to turn off my custom strings and load it back up, and that didn't seem to solve anything. So I actually don't know what causes this, but in the meantime, I can't see exactly how many Safari balls I have left. So sometimes we count those on stream in chat, and that's a good meme. There's a free nugget as well, why not? So 2 Shuckles caught out of those first couple rocks. Honestly, that's pretty solid, and then I'm gonna run down here and just see what I can catch in the meantime. All right, we've got a few Pokemon so far. Thankfully, there's something with an IV, a Houndour with 31 defense. Nothing crazy, but it's a 1x31. Definitely happy to see it. All right, just caught a Teddiursa, and my timer did just go off for the Shuckle Raw respawn. So essentially, I'm going to walk up here. I'm going to log out, log back in. I'm going to try to catch this Cyndaquil first. It's unlikely I'm able to, but it's worth trying. All right, so I looped around, no rocks. I'm going to log out really quick. And then upon logging back in, there should be rocks. Yes, perfect. That's what we love to see. And we get a Shuckle encounter on the first rock. That's perfect. Hopefully we can get some good catches here. It might be worth, honestly, to rock and then Safari Ball after on these Shuckles. And yeah, if they flee, it kind of stings. But at the same time, I feel like that's the risk. It's a bit of a speed in term. It's prioritizing speed over essentially the higher chance at catching. But I think it might be worth it here. There's still a really good chance that Shuckle doesn't flee after a rock. I want to say it's around 33%, but I could be incorrect. And there we go, a really nice, easy catch. If you do rock the Shuckle and it doesn't run, it's pretty much a super easy guaranteed catch. Nice, another encounter. And another flea, unfortunately. If we found a shiny, we definitely would not rock it. We would just Pokeball for best catch rate. And another flea, unfortunately. Honestly, it's making me think it's not worth. I honestly don't know. I feel like if your main moneymaker here is the Shuckle, it probably is worth your extra time for the Pokeballs. But if you're making enough money with the non-Shuckle catches in the wild like this, it might be worth a rock. We'll kind of test on and off. I might test the hour with no rocking. Okay, another 1x31, which is at least something. Not seeing too many of them, but it's also nothing crazy unlikely. You ever run a 1 out of 5.6, a 1 out of every 6 Pokemon or so, to see a 1x31. All right, I have 68 Safari steps left, but also around 20 seconds left on my Shuckle timer. So I'm going to use these to skirt around here. I'm actually going to try to walk and just preserve every step that I possibly can. I don't even think I'm going to make it. I might be able to get 1 or 2 rocks out of this. Oh, that's so sad. Here's the rock spawn at least, but I really wanted to try to use these steps to come over here and check them. Maybe it was just worth to stay in the grass, but honestly, I'm a Shuckle boy. I can't help it. And no, both the rocks didn't even have them. Rest in peace. Ding dong. At least the thing to keep in mind, honestly, we learned something on that run. It's actually better for me just to use my steps within those grass or actually get kicked out of the Safari Zone first and then come back in, because we could get a clean respawn on those rocks. Because once we go back in the Safari Zone, those 3 rocks are still going to be there, but the 2 are already started on their 5-minute timer. So you really want them to line up properly. But that was enough of a simple test. I don't think this moneymaker is going to be really, really good. Probably like the goal with something like this, if the entry to barrier, the barrier to entry is only 500 Pokeyen, you do have to have the Hoenn storyline completed. So that's important. Hoenn storyline completion and then 500 Pokeyen. That's all you need for this. And a rock smash Pokemon, I guess. I would guess the money making is going to be like around 100k per hour, and that's kind of all you're shooting for here. I really don't think it's going to be that good, but you know what, if we can at least get that, I mean, that's a solid beginner money making strat for someone who started in Hoenn. Let's go ahead and start loop for 1 hour and start testing. Now, I'm obviously not going to include these Pokemon in the test. I'm going to move them over to box 5 just to make sure they're super out of the way and do not get confused with the Pokemon we're about to catch. But I'll see you guys in an hour and some change. All right, I just finished the loop for 1 hour of doing the Hoenn Safari Zone. We actually caught way more Pokemon than I expected. 51 is pretty insane. I don't know how that happened, but I did all of it actually live on my stream, and I recorded everything. So I don't know, pretty shocking. 51 Pokemon is pretty nuts in an hour. Really good efficiency, really good time. And I think we actually may have gotten lucky and gotten way more Pokeyen than I expected. Now, I don't know yet because I actually haven't sorted it. And if you want to see the Pokeyen breakdown for that, definitely check out my loop for 1 hour video in relation to this Road to PokeMMO episode, of course. All right, but I don't have time to actually sort through this yet because there's more money to be made. I'm going to be moving directly over to Wailmer right here. We're going to be fishing and farming this and doing a second loot from 1 hour back to back. Now, the last time I tested Wailmer, it was one of the best money making methods in PokeMMO at around 300,000 Pokeyen per hour. Wailmer is in a pretty good age group, and it's really desired for water spout Blastoises. I don't know if it'll still be that much Pokeyen, but I'm hoping to at least get like maybe 150 to 200k per hour. We'll see. I'm pretty excited to test this one though. So I'll see you guys once again after 1 hour. Pretty simple, just fish here and catch. And with that, we have all of the Wailmers caught, a surprising amount as well, pretty in comparison to the Safari Pokemon. I might need to test loop for 1 hour of just how many encounters you can get in the Safari Zone. I'm really surprised at how many catches I was able to make, but still a ton of Wailmer. We're looking at around 48 whales here, and we did even catch it 2 times 31. So I'm excited to do the price check, run through these, and figure out how much Pokemon I'm going to make from each of these loop from 1 hours. It's going to be pretty significant. I had some decent luck. All right, well, I didn't expect to be doing this after 2 loop for 1 hours and just tons of active money making so far in this episode. I feel like we've made quite a lot of profit so far just in this one bit, but I'm actually in the mood, which I'm not often in. I'm in the mood to go do a gym run. This is not something I feel often, and it's good to go take advantage of it. It's obviously been 24 hours or so. My gym run has reset. Don't worry about that. It's one of those things that it's almost like going to the gym IRL. If you have the urge for it, you want to take advantage of it. So I'm going to go ahead and go for that. I'm actually down to the very last mediocre competitive Pokemon I have to level that I made during that little mini series that I did, or made during that little section. Now, that'll be really fun to restock up on those. This one's really funny. I must have bought this for like 2k or something stupid cheap because its nature is terrible. Obviously, the stats are pretty decent enough for a comp Garbodor if someone wants one, but the nature is just so bad. I'll probably level this up to level 50, and I'll probably sell this off for something stupid cheap like 30k. A lot of times when I see something like this, I'm like, oof, geez, why did I buy it? But even if I sell that Garbodor for like 20 or 30k, essentially I bought it for 2k or whatever, I assume. I probably just needed something else to EV train, because whenever you're EV training, you never want to miss out on having a full party. You want to be taking advantage of that, and obviously EV training as many Pokemon as possible, getting those 252 attack and speed and 4 or 5 Pokemon. Well, kind of just kidding on Garbodor being the last Mon. I actually went back to my PC since I forgot my Tortle for my gym run, and I found this Pidgeot that I totally forgot about. So honestly, I'm going to go ahead and finish leveling that one up since it only needs 3 levels, and then I'll go ahead and take care of the Garbodor. All right, now finally it is actually time for me to go ahead and start my gym run, but I did want to quickly ask, what do you guys prefer? If you made it to this point, do you guys prefer shorter or longer term videos when it comes to Road to PokeMMO? I know in general, people's short term versus long term content may be different here and there, but I actually feel like Road to PokeMMO may be a series that is just generally inclined more towards long term content, since it is sort of a progress thing. It's tough because you want to get progress updates, but you don't want to just rant and ramble. You don't want to like waste people's times. That's something that's super important to me, but I also want to provide enough, daily, hourly entertaining content for people to sit here, play PokeMMO all day, and never run out of things to watch in the background. Just a quick question. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Go ahead and leave comments. Any feedback is always appreciated. Recently, I've seen a lot of people leaving things like, oh, like whenever I ask questions like this, they'll be like, oh, like just do whatever you want, man. Like just do whatever you feel, whatever makes you happiest. And as much as I appreciate those comments, it's a very nice sentiment. At the end of the day, the reality is I want your guys' feedback. I'm not asking because I'm gonna immediately 100% implement whatever people tell me to do. It's more so I need the feedback to create the best content possible and to continue to improve. Critiques and feedback are crucial. So I appreciate the sentiment, but please give me the genuine feedback. But that's enough for my little gym run rambles. I'm starting at 2.57 mil. I'll see you guys at the end. All right, I'm finishing up an extremely lazy gym run here, but that's okay. We still made a fair bit of Pokeyen. And as you can see, I'm ending off here at around 2.85 million Pokeyen. And somehow I failed to mention it, but in this episode, I actually have a quick little Beldum to go collect from the GTL. I haven't even thought about that yet, but it's a free 80k. So you know what? Let's go ahead and collect that reward. We bred some Beldum for profit a couple episodes back, and it's finally paying off. I will say something cool about being up back to around 2.9 million Pokeyen pure cash is that I can do another shiny flip. Now I'm still sitting on that other shiny flip, so it gets me a little stressed, and it's a little risky to go ahead and jump into another one when I still have one actively selling, but this one still is really good. If I lowered this thing to like 2.6 or 2.8 mil, I feel like it would sell instantly, but I am taking the extra time to squeeze out that extra 200k. Once again, I believe I bought this for 2 mil flat, so I feel pretty comfortable selling this for a good price. But let's go ahead. You know what, I'm just gonna look. I may not find anything today that's going to be actually relevant as a shiny flip. I can actually click on this show affordable only. That'll help me dodge a lot of listings, which is super nice. But I'm just gonna check things out. I'm probably gonna sort by start date to start off, and it's very possible I don't find anything, but I'll see you guys if I do when I have anything to talk about with it. I will say, when I'm looking to flip a shiny for profit, I'm going to look for male and affordable. I'm not going to worry about female shiny flipping. That gets way too slow sometimes. I will say this shiny Frillish is actually a really good example of kind of a bait shiny flip. This is actually what I would consider not a very good shiny flip, because it would take so long to sell. Yeah, I think it's this Frillish right here, 1.9 mil. So you see this Frillish with 1x31 attack, 25 plus HP and defense, and then 20 plus speed, and the special defense is even creeping up there. You might be able to get a good roll. It's male. Wow, this is a pretty good IV, well-rounded Frillish. The issue being, a lot of you guys may already know, it's in the Chaos Aid group, and its 31 is an attack, and its stats are for attack. This is a physical Chaos Aid group Pokemon, which just isn't very common. There's so few Chaos Aid group Pokemon. When you think of the Chaos Aid group, you think of things like Litwick, you think of things like Ghastly. It's very rare that there are those physical attacking, Pokemon in the Chaos Aid group. Aside from, I believe you can use Cofagrigus. The big benefit with it is Cofagrigus is in both the mineral and the Chaos Aid group, I believe, and you can actually breed like physical Yonmasks and stuff, and then essentially use those, mineral and Chaos. You can use those to breed physical attack over to the mineral aid group onto things like Geodude, and that can actually be helpful. So good to keep that in mind, but I would stay away from physical Chaos Aid group mons. Oh man, I am just looking at this other shiny tentacle, and I might pull the trigger on it, fellas. Like, there's these two other ones that are 2x31 in these same stats. It's also, this one's blowing my other one out of the water. It's kind of brutal. To be fair, they kind of have different advantages and different stats, and sitting on 2 tentacles is a little sketchy because I could sit on them for a very long time. But if I could buy this thing for 2.6, I don't even know what I would sell this thing for. Maybe 3.6? It's a little tough though. That's a tough thing to price. Maybe something like 3.5. If I really want to spend 2.6 mil to make 900k, obviously after sell, it's tough. It's a tough thing, but this just seems too good. I mean, 2.6 mil for this. It's even Rash Nature. If someone wants to buy this as a mediocre comp shiny, they just could. It seems so good. It seems so good. What if I get rid of the aid group? What if I just do male? Yeah, I mean, it's still like the cheapest by far tentacle down here. What if I get rid of gender? Let me just do those stats, so what I'm looking for here is, actually, let me do 20 plus in all these stats. That's what I want. Just, screw attack. What do we see then? We see this tentacle, which honestly, this is a really interesting budget little guy. I've been up for 6 days. That one's careful, so it doesn't work. That one is calm. This is a cool budget competitive tentacle, honestly, if someone wanted that, but the issue is someone would have to want a shiny competitive tentacle. Same with that one, honestly. There's just so many tentacles on the market. Man, it just becomes so scary to try to flip something like this. Like, the question becomes, okay, if someone could buy, this female shiny tentacle and a male off the GTL, it's going to cost them, minimum 3 mil or so is the real meme. So I could buy this for 2.6. I feel like I want to buy it. I feel like I want to buy it and let my money move, but I'm a little scared. It might be a little risky. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with taking risks. So I'm going to buy it. It hurts. It's a lot of Pokeyen. Obviously just, gone in the blink of an eye, down to 300k on the Cool Duder account. This is definitely a big purchase, hoping I don't regret it. It's going to cost someone minimum like 3 mil or so to breed something like that, though. Probably more once you consider the actual getting a male, because getting a male tentacle to actually match the breed is going to be way more expensive. So it's going to end up costing them at least 3.4 or something. I'm going to try to sell this one, I believe, for 3.6. I think that's going to be my goal. I bought it for 2.6. Maybe go 3.4, sell a little faster, get a little more liquidity, but it is Rash Nature, which is honestly, I'm gonna go 3.6. I'm going to go for that 3.6 and essentially just make a clean 1 mil profit on it. So if this ever sells or when this sells, it will be a clean 1 mil profit. Obviously, you know, minus 25K for the listing fee, but I know there's a really long clips talking about this, but it's just a huge risk for the account and it's a really big deal. So hoping for the best on that one. 300K, it goes up, and I will see you guys with a new clip soon. All right, I'm back, boys, and I did just finish the loot for 1 hour of the Hoenn Safari Zone, so I sold off all of those Pokemon. At least that box is empty. I ended up actually buying this Paris for 1K during 1K for this 20 plus in every stat, bug, egg group, timid nature. This could become the perfect Volcarona breeder, but we'll make some profit with that here in a quick sec. But 220K just from that hour of Safari Zone. I'm really happy with that, and we're gonna make some good Pokeyen on that down the line once everything starts selling, of course. Whew, all right, done with the Wailmer hour as well. Sold everything off. It was a long time period, but there we go. Bam, boom. 164K profit made from that as well, which is pretty interesting. So we made a decent bit of profit this episode. Now, I do want to go ahead and collect all my listings on the GTL. A lot of the Wailmers actually sold pretty quickly, up to 48K. My cash stack, my pure cash stack is just dwindling, but it's still nice to see. Back up to 300K at least. And I do want to try to turn a profit on this Paris. Let's go ahead and deal with this breed. It's going to be pretty complicated since it's in this really weird position, but it just needs to be turned into a male, and then I might just sell it as a breeder from there. I don't want to have to turn it into a Volcarona on my own, because that can get really expensive to actually find a good female Volcarona, but let's just take it one step at a time. I want to put 31 speed on this thing if possible, but I don't know. We'll take it one step. Let's go ahead and go heal up and see where we're going. So I bought this Paris for 1K, and the issue is the good breeder for it is going to be around 14K, which honestly I'm okay with. That's actually pretty fair. I do want to double check. It is in 2 egg groups. I feel like plant is going to be way cheaper. Yeah, plant is going to be way cheaper. I'm super happy with buying this for 14K. That's honestly super fine. Let's pick that up from the mail. For whatever reason, it went to the mail. So let's grab that. Let's get another Pokemon in our party. We need a Flame Body Pokemon. And our total cost for the breed is going to be end up looking something like this. We got 1K for the Paris, literally 1100 Pokeyen. We'll do plus 15K for the Shroomish just to overcut it, plus 5K for the Everstone, and then plus 10K for the Brace. So we're looking at a price on the breed at 31K. I might not end up making profit on this, but I'm hoping I can. It's just the fact that it has nature. No, I think I will. I think I'll make a really nice profit on this, to be totally honest. I do want to pay for this to come out male, which is the other cost. So bam, there's 36K, or there's 36K total. Ends up being our total cost for this breed. Once again, more than I expect and more than I would like, but hopefully we still make a profit. The reason why this breed is so good is because we have nature. So here's the moment of truth. Male, timid, bug, 31 speed, 20 plus and everything. What is the price looking at? Yes. Okay. Whew. I mean, that's 3 times 31, but I should still be able to make a profit here. I feel like I easily should be able to sell this. 36K was the cost. I easily should be able to sell this for like 60, maybe 80K. This is something. This is something. While we're here doing the grunt work, I kind of want to price check some stuff or figure something out. So right now, 2 times 31 male Wailmers, which are used to breed water spout Blastoises, are 95K. That's absurd. Now, they don't actually sell for this price. They are the correct nature as well, so honestly, that makes a lot of sense. But if we got just a 2 times 31, we could easily sell it for some profit. I feel like we could definitely make some good money on this. So I want to test this money-making method out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not going to be that good. Look at this. Cheapest 1 times 31 Wailmer. 31 speed. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's modest nature. It's so interesting. That's so interesting. Let's go ahead and check 31... Let's just do 31 special attack and see if we can buy something for cheap. 20K. Man, this one's modest, though. So what I could do with something like this... Oh, man. Wailmer prices, they're just so nuts. They're so strange. I feel like I've got to be able to profit on this. No, 20K for this. 1 times 31 plus nature. If I were to buy another Pokemon, it would have to be 2 times 31. I might not be able to profit on this still, which seems... crazy. You know, it seems crazy. It has water spout on it as well, which is beautiful. I feel like this is just a perfect... I might just want to flip this as opposed to breeding it, because this just might be a perfect breeder for someone with the Squirtle. I'm gonna buy this and we'll figure out something with it. What if I go ahead and take the 20K I used to buy this Wailmer, and I go ahead and actually look for a Remoraid or something to spread over? Essentially, you want to breed this with a female Remoraid, and that's gonna give it The issue is I do want a Remoraid with 2 times 31, which is going to be and female. Yeah, it's literally out of sight. No one has them because they're just people. Oh man, people want these water spout Blastoises, and there's just not enough market for them. I would love to test money making, like catching Remoraid for profit. I feel like that could be something super interesting. We'd have to make our own Remoraid to actually make a profit on this, which might be worth it. Okay, we spent 20k on this so far. I can just go ahead and buy a Remoraid for 13k with 1 times 31 speed. That is worth to go ahead and do. And then I'm going to buy a Ditto with 1 times 31 special attack. So let's go ahead and look for that. Just special attack. That's all we need. We don't need anything fancy on it. We could try to keep the stats, but it's just not going to be worth it, I feel like. I'm not even going to worry about it, to be totally honest. So let's buy the cheapest one for 4k. So now we've spent... on this breed, on this whole process with the Wailmer, we're going to end up spending plus 13k and then plus 5k for the Ditto as well. Let's go ahead and get this breed going. But before that, before I get too confused, let's go ahead and sell off the Paris. I'm going to list this Paris for 60k and just make a pretty even, like around 30k profit on it. I think it's a little less, but I think that's super solid. I'm happy with it. We've got our other Wailmers selling as well, man. I might have underlisted those for the video, but at least it's a quick return. There's just so low like supply of Wailmers on the GTL and such high demand for everybody wanting to do gym runs with water spout Blastoise. It's pretty shocking. We've spent 38k so far on this Wailmer breed altogether. I do need to get braces though. That's going to be a plus 20k. Let me go ahead and do that. And I'm aware that these costs are going to look super high. Don't you worry, but I think it's going to end up being worth it. So we're creating our own 2 times 31 Remoraid for around, we need it to be female. We created this ourselves for around, I think 40k, maybe 45k or so, which is generally the price something like that would cost to essentially make. And there's none on the GTL. It's pretty insane that there are literally no 2 times 31 auxiliaries. That is, wow. You could essentially make your own price. You could breed a bunch of these and just do these back to back to back and sell them for like 60k or something like that. And if they happen to roll a good nature, you're in the bitch money. All right, our Remoraid hatched. We're still at 58k spent. Let's go ahead and actually try to finish up this breed and see if we can make any profit. So now I want to Everstone on the Wailmer. That's going to be a 5k cost, and I do need to buy another brace. So it's going to be 15k cost from here, but this should be the final breed. Well, it's going to be 15k plus 5k to make sure it comes out male. So it's going to be plus 20k, I believe, plus 20k. And that'll be the total absolute end game cost of this breed. I believe we need this to come out male. Let me actually double check. I'm pretty sure, but let me double check. Yes, we need this to come out male as a Remoraid. You can breed this with water spout. See how it has water spout? You can then breed this over onto a Squirtle, which I might end up doing. Maybe that'll be important. So 5k. Okay, easy peasy. So plus 20k over on the calculator, leaving us so far with a total cost of 78k, which is pretty expensive. I mean, for 2 times 31 nature, usually you're making profit at that point anyway. But let's see for a specific Pokemon like this. And once again, if we look for a 2 times 31 Remoraid with special attack and speed male, there's literally 0 on the GTL, so we can essentially just make our own price and just hope for someone to buy it. Like, not even considering nature, just 2 times 31, there's literally none on the GTL. Now, what if I look for something like a Squirtle? If I can find a female Squirtle to go alongside this, we may be in the big money. Let's go ahead and see if we can find something. The issue is the cheapest 2 times 31 Squirtle. We're gonna have to create our own Squirtle as well, but this is becoming a very, very long process, but I still think it's gonna end up being worth it. There's not even a good priced 1 times 31 Squirtle on the GTL. The cheapest female, 70k, that's astronomical. So what I'm gonna do is I probably just go ahead and buy any Squirtle on the GTL. Yeah, just 2k. You know what? Screw it. We just buy the cheapest one. It really doesn't matter here. We are going to do plus 2k over on our calculator, of course. We're going to track total cost and everything, but let's go ahead and actually make this Squirtle. So now we need a Ditto with 1 times 31 speed. It doesn't really matter which one we go for first, I guess. Let's do speed since it's generally more expensive, or should I just go for what's going to cost for 2 times? 48k is going to be the cost here, which is going to be tough, but you know what? I think we can sell this Blastoise / Squirtle for like 300k or so down the line. So let's first things first. Let's go for the special attack. That's yeah, I think that's going to be the cheaper way to go with it. So 5k for here. So we're going to get a brace as well. So plus 15k. So it cost us what? 17k. It cost us 17k to make this 1 times 31 Squirtle that people are selling for astronomical prices. Maybe that's the money making method that I want to test. That is, I mean, something spicy right there. If I were to go ahead and just breed this into a female Squirtle, now it would cost me an extra 21k, so it's going to end up costing me around 40 something k to make a female 1x31 special attack Squirtle, but those sell for how much on the GTL? I mean, that's 2 times, but if it costs me 40k and I sell them for 60, at that point, I'm essentially shiny breeding for a Squirtle and making a fat profit. But I'm literally covering too many money-making methods in one episode of Road to PokeMMO, so I'm going to go ahead and just go for this. I'm not going to worry about, I feel like I'm not going to pay the extra 20k here. If I have to go for the Ditto, I feel like it's actually just ends up being cheaper than even paying for the female and then going for the egg group. This Road to PokeMMO episode has just ended up being so much more astronomically long and full of content than I expected, so hopefully you guys are at least enjoying. Here is our Remoraid hatched and done. Let's wait for our Squirtle to come out next. And while we're waiting, let's just go ahead and collect some Pokeyen on the GTL. Why not? It's always nice. Since we're spending so much on stuff like this, we've got to refill. All right, Squirtle hatched. The gender is going to be important. It came out male, and the nature. Okay, we can definitely work with this. We have to make this a 2x31, and then we have to breed it over with the Remoraid and carry over the nature. But I'm wondering if I paid for this to be female, couldn't I have just... Maybe I could have just done this easier and sooner, but I was not thinking. Well, no, I think I'm right. I think I need... I'm getting confused. This whole breeding process, it can melt your brain. I think I still end up needing the 2x31 Squirtle, unfortunately, but then I think I essentially am wasting a breed. I will say I'm also making the classic mistake of, I'm still gonna make profit on this, so don't worry. There's just so many mistakes and so many ways to min-max with breeding. The best way to make a Water Spout Blastoise is just to breed the Water Spout move over, on a 0 IV. You wanna do no IVs, breed the Water Spout move over from Wailmer to Remoraid over to Squirtle, no stats, don't get IVs involved. It's way too complicated. Do that and then breathe the IVs onto your Squirtle from there. That's definitely the best way to do it. I made the classic error of just trying to breed on IVs over on the way. But it's okay. I still should be able to profit. I'm not too worried about it. I think I am going to go ahead and... The weird thing is, I think I have to go ahead and buy a 2x31 Ditto and then just go ahead and breed that. It's not going to be cheap, and I just knew that going into this. That's super okay. It doesn't really matter which one I pick. 48k, sure. So I'm going to add plus 49k over on the calculator. It does hurt. And then plus, what do we need braces for? I think plus 20k for both braces, correct? Yeah, let's do it. 164k. And here we go with the breed. We're going to pay for this to be female as well. Female, 21k. Yup. This cost is getting extreme. I will say if I train the Blastoise, I know I can sell it for 300k or so. But it's getting a little scary. I'm going to be totally honest. I think I made a lot of mistakes on this, but still, as long as you make mistakes and profit, who cares? But learn from my mistakes, guys. Now, thanks to our trusty Hasmove Water Spout search, if I go ahead and look up 31 special attack, 31 speed, Water Spout, male modest, and search, its next breed is only going to cost me, I think, 5k for the Everstone and then 10k for the thing. I did lose money making it. If I sold it as a Squirtle, I lose money. But I'm gonna go ahead and train it up as a Blastoise. But that's a mistake. It would have been way smarter for me to just buy one of these Squirtles and just do the brunt work, just do the training, which maybe that's worth for another episode. We did the training of Typhlosions for profit. Maybe Squirtles is next. The issue is we need more pure Pokeyen to even commit to that leveling method. Now, I kind of have 2 options here. I will say I could go ahead and sell this Squirtle for nice profit as I'm paying for it to be a female. I could sell this Squirtle as 2x31 female, make a really nice profit, sell it for around, I could sell both of these for 100k, the Remoraid and the Squirtle. I mean, at that point, I'm barely making any profit if I sell them individually without doing the breeding. I feel like I might just need to go ahead and commit to the Blastoise thing, but then I have to EV train it and level it. But I don't know. It's getting rough, guys. I definitely made a mistake here. This might just be my sign to stay away from breeding for a while. I feel like I just keep making mistakes when it comes to that process. And I mean, it happens to the best of us. No matter how good you get at breeding, you can make hundreds of thousands of Pokeyen for profit, or you can end up wasting a ton of time and wasting half an hour, 40 minutes, and only making 10k or losing 10k sometimes. That is definitely the reality of breeding for profit. There's a lot to factor in. There's a lot going on at once. When I'm recording everything as well and trying to plan, scenes and cuts for that, it's more on top. It's tough. But that's what Road to PokeMMO is all about, making the mistakes and showing you guys how to actually fix them or profit from them and still build a main account. This is actually a great thing for the series. All right, moment of truth, the Squirtle hatched. It's quiet nature, which is not great, but still not bad. And now I have two options. I can either carry through with this breed and essentially Everstone the Remoraid, and do I even need a brace for the Squirtle? I guess I don't need a brace for the Squirtle, but at this point, I'm just being silly and just kind of making mistakes, and it might just be worth to sell them both separately. It's a tough decision. I just put myself in this super weird position to where if what you want here is you want the Squirtle with 2x31 and you only want the Remoraid with 1x31, and that's where I went wrong. That was the huge mistake that I made. What I'm going to do is just buy an Everstone. It cost me 6k this time. Put it on the Remoraid. I'm just going to follow through with the breed. As weird as this is, put it all into one Pokemon because I know that this will sell. The good thing is once I do this breed, I don't have to pay for gender here, which is super nice. Once I do this, I do know that it will sell, which is the big thing. So getting that liquidity back is going to be super important. So plus 6k onto the cost for the Everstone. Cost me 191k for this, and if I were to just sell it as is, I would lose like 30k, which is super unfortunate, but that's okay. What I want to check is I think I'm going to go ahead and just end up training this up. So let's go ahead and see what that would go for after I trained it. Now, once again, as is, I would lose 30k, sell it for around 160, 162k or whatever. What if I were to go for it as a Blastoise? So Blastoise, I would make a little bit of money, but what if I went to level 100? That's the big thing, is if I leveled it all the way to level 100, I could at least sell it for like that 300k mark and make around 100k. Now, the issue is that's putting in so much time at that point. I think I'm still going to do it, but I'm going to end up making 100k. I'll probably end up passively leveling this thing throughout my future gym reruns, and it takes 15 minutes to EV train. So, you know what? At the end of the day, we're going to end up making 100k profit, maybe 80k profit after the listing fee and stuff and after the time. 80k profit on something that took way too long and it was a mistake, but it was a mistake. The fact that I'm able to make 80k profit and fix that, like make 80k profit still on a totally botched breed, things could be a lot worse. So you know what? I'm pretty happy with it. We're gonna be able to passively level it throughout our gym runs. Could be a lot worse. Honestly, I'm coolin'. Now, this episode has ended up being tremendously long, but I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm literally just going to end it here before even showing you guys the Squirtle hatch. You guys know what it's going to look like. We'll see it in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy this super long episode. Dislike if you didn't. Let me know if you prefer longer or short episodes in the comments. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos, whether it's guides, long-term content like this, information, news, Johto stuff, etc. Discord's linked down below for updates on all my content. I stream 4 days a week on Twitch and YouTube, sometimes Kick nowadays as well, Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the channel, allow me to do longer streams, longer videos, more videos, higher quality, higher quantity, YouTube memberships, Twitch primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal do help out a ton, as well as you obviously get your name listed at the end of videos like this because you allow me to do what I do. Thank you guys so much for watching. What a video, what a day. Good luck in making PokeMMO Pokeyen today. Peace. Just kidding, here's the Squirtle. I know you guys wanted to see it, don't worry. Yo, thank you so much for watching until the very end of the video. I really appreciate that, and hopefully it was worth your time. If your name is on this list, that means I appreciate you even more, and you go above and beyond and physically allow my channel to function. I appreciate you so much, and have a great day.